Good morning, everybody. It's episode 94 of the Keep Going. Wow, 94 episodes of the Keep Going podcast, Athletes Shining a Light on Mental Health. We are joined by Brock Glavey today. Rock Valley is in the house, so I know it's going to be a great episode. David Mitchell, what's going on with you, man?
How we doing?
Real good. What's up with you, bro? Go ahead, Dave.
Sorry, not too much. Just out here in Colorado, enjoyed a little hike yesterday, and ready to get going on this podcast with a special guest today.
That's for sure, man. It's our first NFL Sunday of the year. Brock, what's going on with you, man?
Not a whole lot. Just here in Southwest Missouri, just here for school. Got some studying to do this weekend, so sadly I won't be watching too much football, but I'm hoping to catch most of that Bears game today.
Bear down, baby. Bear down, baby. That's a good start. It's a good start. We are a Bears podcast, and we're hoping Caleb Williams takes care of business today. But at the end of the day, we are a mental health podcast. I want to get us started right off the bat. Brock, talk about why you were a good fit to come on the podcast today.
So right now I'm studying to be a physical therapist. Excuse me. And I've seen both sides of it. I've seen the athlete side of battling through injury, the mental side of games, and just that aspect of it. And now I'm getting the other side of it. We work in a pro bono clinic. We see athletes from our school all the time. So now I get to see and help athletes that way too. I've been in your shoes. I know what you're going through, and outreaching, finding people to talk to, and really just getting after it. So that, and obviously I'd love to get on here and talk to my guys again. I haven't seen them in a while either.
Yeah. No, I appreciate both of those things. And shout out Dave for, reaching out to you and getting you on here. Do you feel like it benefits you being a former athlete going through some injuries in the field that you're trying to be in now?
Oh, 100%. When I first came here, I actually was just coming off a rotator cuff surgery. I had surgery in June. So I was in physical therapy while studying.
Right.
So I do think it helps because you get to see both sides of it. You get to see that it's not just a physical battle, it's a mental battle. And
Dave, go there. Stay there. Stay on the mental side, Dave.
Yeah. Talk
more on the mental side.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's not. So the battle is, will I be able to play? What will it look like after the injury and stuff like that? And you're thinking about this all internally. I mean, physically you can look, you can see the scars, you can see the wounds, but it's internally where you're like, but how will I get back from this? How will I recoup? How will I get through this? Because there are days where it stinks. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I had two. I had my labrum done and my rotator cuff at 2 different times. And I thought after the labrum, I was like, perfect. I've had it. I'm done. Strengthened. I went to physical therapy, and then boom, following year, popped it, rotator cuff, gone.
Yeah. Stay there. Talk a little bit about what you focused on when you were going through your injury and what got through it for you, how you got through it.
How I got through it was obviously talking to other people, but also one of my big focuses right now is the why I'm doing something, why I'm doing it. So after my labrum in 2021, my why was I want to be back and be an athlete. I mean, that's what I went to college to do. I wanted to be an athlete. I wanted to mentally be there on the field for my team, physically be there when I can be. But when I wasn't on the field physically, to be somebody else's support. If they go 0 for 3, pick them up, something like that, and just keep their chin up, mentally keep them in the game. And then when I tore it again in 2023, my why changed. It was, I want to be the best physical therapist I can be. And my one way to do that is to battle through this injury. I mean, it takes a lot more on the mental than the physical side because, I mean, physically you can regain muscle mass and stuff like that, but mentally you have to be there as well.
Yeah, it's a great answer. I think I went through it with my brother. This is about 4 or 5 years ago now, when he had the ulnar nerve surgery, and he just never came back like he was. And it was like physically that was taxing, but I think the mental warfare was a lot. It was, you're at the top of the mountain, and all of a sudden you're just not that guy anymore as a baseball player. Talk about the identity piece of going from baseball player to now your career.
That was a big culture shock. It was a big change. I mean, obviously you get your studies done in college and all that stuff in undergrad, and I went to Rock Valley Junior
Shout them
College.
out. Go Eagles, baby.
Go Eagles. And then transferred to William Woods University, a little bit different program. I started out as an accounting major at Rock Valley, switched over to physical therapy at William Woods down here in Fulton, Missouri. And then now I'm in grad school. I just started my second year about a month ago. It's taxing, but to reiterate your question, you find your identity in what you love to do. And I think that's like the biggest thing, is that I love to help people, and being a physical therapist is my way to help people, and starting my foundation of sports and all that stuff will help, I think, progress that.
I love that. So finding a career that kind of scratches that itch and still gives you that impact. Go ahead, Dave.
No doubt. Finding that why is super important in everything you do, I think. The why kind of can spark a thing, knowing why you're doing it, having some purpose to it. And if you are struggling in a situation out there, ask yourself, why am I doing this? Like, there's so many benefits of asking yourself why. So I really like that answer. I want to go into a little bit about your background and how you got into the sport of baseball. So talk a little bit about that, Brock.
So I have two older siblings. My brother was a 3-sport athlete in high school, and we're 13 years apart. So he was in high school and I was still really young. And watching him play sports and fall in love with sports just kind of helped aid me in that path. My family kind of grew up around sports. My sister was a competitive cheerleader for most of her life. And my brother just was football, basketball, baseball. And I ended up falling in love with baseball the most. It's one sport where I pitch, so you have the full control of the game in your hands. I mean, it's not only physically grueling because you're out there and one bad pitch can cost you the game, but mentally, okay, you just walk somebody. How can you battle back? So my sport started at probably 3 or 4 years old and progressed all the way. I was blessed to be able to play until I was 22 years old. So
Got it.
was a journey, but well worth it, to say the least.
No, no doubt. No doubt. I think that's how a lot of our athletes get started, right? It's a sibling push, it's a family thing, and it's cool to hear you talk about, that age gap and still being able to kind of make your mark, right? I think that's important. I guess on the college front, right? You go to a school like Rock Valley, so we'll kind of stay there. And we've had a lot of awesome Rock Valley people on the podcast. So talk about Rock Valley and kind of what it meant to your baseball career.
It helped me to grow up a lot. Graduate high school. I'm one of the youngest in my class, graduated high school at 17. So I didn't turn 18 till a month before we had to report to Rock Valley. So it helped me grow up a lot. I mean, getting out of the house, living alone, and it helped me realize that high school baseball and college baseball are nothing alike. I mean, high school baseball, you go to class all day, you practice for an hour and a half, 2 hours. I mean, my man Chad P over there
shout the guy Chad P out. Go ahead. Shout him out.
Valley had some nice long 4-hour practices on Fridays. So it was always a good time. It was definitely, I call it a stepping stone, but it wasn't just like a step over. It really made me love the grind. It made me love what I did and love what I do. And just, it was a good time. I loved every part of it. Dave and I have talked multiple times. I actually went to his old facility that he used to play with over. Are they still in the same area in Crystal Lake?
Different now. They're in Cary, but yeah, they're one of our proud sponsors. They're one of our proud sponsors. Shout out Power Pipe Hitting. If you need some hitting needs, shameless plug. Go ahead, Brock.
So that was always a good time. We went there a lot in Rock Valley, and he just helped me physically and then mentally just talk through it. That's the big thing, is you can show somebody physically, but to figure out what they're thinking about, what they're trying to do, and the mental side of it is different. Yeah, so he helped me.
Completely agree. And I think, go ahead, Dave. I'm going to talk about Rock Valley in a second. I'll let you go first.
Yeah, no doubt. I completely agree. Rock Valley has shaped me into the person I am today as well. Shout out Chad P for that.
Yeah.
I want to go into a little bit about your mental health. What are you doing for your mental health now and for this week?
So I guess not really just this week and now. I'm a very avid cold shower person.
Got it.
Cold showers. Good for the body, good for the mind for me. If you stand in there for a minute or two, let the cold water sit on the face. And I I think of what I have planned for the week. I mean, tests. I use a planner now because we're having 2 and 3 tests a week, and it's grad school, so it's a little bit different. They just teach you something, they expect you to know it. So, and getting out, finding things that I really like to do. I actually just am joining a men's softball league. We have our first game tomorrow.
Good luck. Good luck to the boys.
Real pumped about that. Real pumped about that. It's a bunch of physical therapists, and we were joking about we're going to be the next ones in our clinic getting treatment our hamstrings or something because we're all not into shape that we should be. But and working out, finding the face outside of athletics. That's probably one of the hardest things is getting motivated to work out after playing. That was also one thing that I really wanted to focus on after the second surgery was myself, really focusing on bettering myself for personal reasons, family reasons, stuff like that. So just kind of all comes down to family pushing me. My biggest why is I got 3 beautiful nieces right now. I have a nephew coming on the way.
Nice.
And I would love to show them that helping others more than yourself at times can help. And physical therapy is a great way for me to show them that. And
yeah. I'm with you. I feel like the give and take, right, if your support group is so big. I mean, we talk about filling cups all the time, right? Like you got to fill those cups, but you can't also empty yours in the meantime. So like finding that balance of some give or take and, when to give and when to fall back on, okay, I need these people to kind of lift me up today. And I think you have that. Talk about being in Fulton, Missouri, right? Like somewhere you've never obviously been before. Do you feel like your support group has carried you at times?
Yeah. So visited in September, right before COVID. So everything's great. Boom, went there. I was like, you know what? I like the fit. I like the guys, all that stuff. So signed that, went there that following August after COVID and all that stuff because we were able to go back, just had to wear masks to class and separate. And it's a different culture because you're walking in as a junior college transfer compared to somebody who's probably been there for 2 years, 3 years, and you kind of have to find your way.
Right.
A lot of them helped me more on the mental side because I was far from home again. I mean, Bolton, Missouri's every bit of 7 hours from home. So you don't get to go home and see your family and your significant other and all those people
it's different. It's different.
Okay. And I made the decision to move further away. So now I'm 10 hours from home. So it's a great thing for social media of I can just call somebody if I need to. I can FaceTime my niece, ask her how her day's doing. I actually just sent her a picture. She likes to get mail. That's her big thing. She loves mail. She's 4. So she's like, when something with her name on it, oh, this yours, you can open it. Oh, she's all for it. So finding your support away from the field, but there's always those people that you need that support you on the field.
I love that answer, man. I love that answer. Dave, what do you got there?
Yeah, having the right group around you can be a huge impact on you and your athletic career, and just having that drive to keep moving forward. I love it.
Yes,
I want to transition to, we talk a little bit about routine on this podcast. Do you have a routine, and how does it affect you day to day?
Oh, absolutely. Everyone in my school knows, everyone in PT, they always give me a hard time. I am in bed 8:15.
Wow.
8:15. I'm sleeping by 9 usually. But I'm
up
every day. Monday through Friday, I am in bed at 8:15, 8:30. I'm sleeping by 9, up by 5, and I go lift. One of my classmates and I was like, I'll lift with you, but I only want to lift in the morning because I'd rather be able to study all afternoon and get that. So I fall in the routine of early to bed, early awake. And then that way in the morning, if I ever need to study or just take some time, I mean, those rough weeks where you have 2 tests and that Friday you wake up and you're just sluggish, you go get a nice workout in, and then you come back and relax for a little bit, kind of calm down, maybe flip on ESPN, watch some Sports Center, but you can just drink some coffee and relax. And that's my big routine is I found something that I thoroughly love. And waking up early, going to bed early, going to class, getting all my studies done earlier instead of waiting until that 10, 11 o'clock. Oh man, I have a test the next day. Well, am I getting the right amount of sleep then? is what I ask myself. So my routine is definitely early bed, early wake right now. But I love it.
Yeah,
I
I
like
like
that.
that a lot.
Yeah, I'm a big early morning workout guy too. Yeah, I'm with you. I think that it just I was always a night guy. I think morning's a game changer if you haven't tried it. Go ahead, Dave.
Yeah, me too. I like going to bed early, waking up early. I think it's good for your mental health and that staying on that schedule for your sleep schedule, let
Yeah.
alone getting up early is important. Just having that time, okay, I'm going to go to bed at 8:15, 9 o'clock to get that 8 hours of sleep for your recovery is huge on your mental health to feel good about it the next day. Yeah, I like
Agree.
that.
I think it's big. I think it's big. Go ahead, Dave.
What you got, P?
Now, I was gonna say, man, like 3 college athletes here, like sleep is huge. We're not just your teachers telling you that, your trainers, your coaches, like we've kind of been there and we've made mistakes in those areas. So I think getting the 8, 9, 10 hours of sleep, like that's big stuff and something I'm still trying to do now. I feel like my body's never felt better. I wish I would have put some of those principles in 5, 6 years ago, but that kind of segues nicely. I'll have Dave ask you the question we ask every week because you are his guest today. So go ahead, Dave.
Yeah, so there's a lot of things in life, a lot of adversity that everyone goes through, and I'm sure you've had a lot of things that you've gone through. What is your keep going moment?
So my keep going moment is also similar to my why. I mean, that's like what I compare every week when I'm listening or I'm on a walk and I'm hearing the keep going moments. I'm hearing a lot of why people are doing things, why people are continuing what they're doing. So the keep going moment is ultimately my why I'm doing this, why I'm here. What keeps me going is my family, my thrive to help people. But ultimately, just facing adversity firsthand and having 2 shoulder surgeries and trying to come back to play baseball. My mother was diagnosed with breast cancer when I was 9. She went to every baseball game. Chemotherapy, radiation did not matter. It was every baseball game, every weekend, no matter the temperature. Seeing that motivated me a lot to get back from any injury I'd ever faced. That's really one of my really big moments that sticks out to me from my past is seeing somebody who supported me throughout all my athletics, seeing somebody who supported me when almost it felt like they didn't have the energy to get up and get going that day. But no matter what, she always supported me. She's always there for me. She is 100% my rock. And I know all of us love our families dearly. I mean, I know both of you guys very well, family people. So I know you guys can speak home to that. But I think that's like one of my biggest whys is seeing somebody who ultimately sacrificed everything to keep me going. So now I do the same to try to keep everybody else going and to make sure everything stays healthy.
Yeah, that's it's a beautiful answer. It's a beautiful um testament to your mom. I think that's not only amazing that what she went through and all the stuff she did for you, but also that you now want to carry that love forward. And I think it's not always like that. So I want to tip my cap to you and say that's amazing now that you're going to take that love and just shine it with somebody else. I love that. Go ahead, Dave.
Yeah, I love that. Doing it for someone else, having a why. Yeah, I love that answer as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I think there's so many people in this world that I always use the Derrick Rose example with your arm.
Mhm.
Derrick Rose had 4 or 5 knee injuries, and he had the chance to easily say, you know what? I've had a great career. I'm gonna let this thing go. I've made my impact. But like I would say that Derrick Rose's last 5 to 6 years meant almost more than his MVP years. Like who he was as a teammate, who he was in the NBA, who he was to people that were struggling, people with cancer, people that were coming back from injuries. So if you don't know who Derrick Rose is, definitely Google that after the podcast today. But like
Sure.
these kind of stories inspire the next wave of athletes. And having you guys on, Dave, obviously last 20 so episodes, and then Brock having you on today, I know the youth is in good hands, even if it's only a 4 or 5 year gap that we have. Like it's fun to hear you guys talk about we're doing it for the love of other people and we're doing it because we've been loved in the past. It's inspiring, guys, for sure. It's awesome. It's awesome. And I'll say this, and I'll move into kind of rapid fire questions here. on a morning where I wake up and I'm sitting here in Roscoe, Illinois, and Zach Baden is on my futon right now. And I laugh because we played in a charity wiffle ball tournament last night.
I'd seen that.
And it's like, this is what it's all about. It just, the world, if you believe in God, the universe, whatever, if you keep loving on people, if you keep being kind to people, if you stay impact driven instead of product, driven kind of deal, we have conversations like this, man. So I love it. But Dave, ask Brock some rapid fire. Let's get rolling.
Yeah, Brock, I gotta start it off with this one. What's your favorite memory throughout your baseball career?
So I'm sure you guys.
I got this. It's running poles at Rock Valley with Chad. No, I was kidding. Go ahead.
It's coming out of the bio lab to go run polls for Chad.
No, not it. Go ahead.
Yellow shorts.
Not the yellow shorts. I can't do this. This morning. Go ahead.
Say your question one more time.
Yeah, go ahead, Dave.
I got you. So I'm sure you guys have seen that picture on your guys' social media that my old summer ball coach had posted.
Oh, I saw it. Who I know. Yes.
Yeah. So shout out my boy, Coach Nelson.
I knew he was getting a shout out, as he should.
He's done great things. Great family man. He's helped me a lot. Went to North Carolina with him. So that picture actually came after I shout out Olivet Nazarene, Chicago land area college. Shut him out at Central Methodist. It was my third start after shoulder surgery, and went 7 scoreless against them. And somehow that picture got around, and now people in grad school, people in undergrad, coaches have it. So that was probably one of the funniest, most remarkable moments that I've had in a while, was coming back from injury, battling all that stuff to come back and, ultimately just do what I'm supposed to do, but sometimes easier said than done on the baseball field. But yeah, so that easily probably one of my favorite pictures to have out there right now, but definitely a goofy one.
Yeah, the definition of keep going, because Brandon, he wasn't even following our page because obviously we tagged you on Facebook. I'm like, oh, this is gonna get ugly. And I saw it. I was like, okay, that was awesome. No, good stuff. I guess my question right now is favorite teammate and why?
Favorite teammate and why?
It's a good one.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I played with 60 at Rock Valley, and I played with 30 plus at William Woods.
Right.
Probably one of my most remarkable lifelong friends, biggest impact in my life, and vice versa, probably mine on his, because we talk a lot, and it's one of those where we don't talk very often, but when we talk for a while.
Right.
My buddy's Isaiah Gibbs.
Gibbs, shout him out.
So I don't know if either of you guys know him. He's Ironton City product out of Missouri here. He's just a good guy. He's a very big family man. He was just always there. He was always a good support. When I struggled, when I first went to Fulton, I struggled. I was 7 hours from home. Hated it because of COVID. You couldn't do anything. You couldn't go out. But he was always there to kind of get me out of my shell, get me comfortable with where we were at and stuff like that. And we actually just talked on the phone probably 2 or 3 weeks ago for 2 hours. It's just like that. Like, you don't talk for a few days and then boom, you talk, and it's 2-hour conversation.
Oh, yeah.
Just where you're at, what's going on, and how you're doing. it's just a little bit of everything, both sides of the family, how the families are doing. So he's probably one of my closest teammates I have from Woods. Dave and I still talk every once in a while. It's Blue Moon, similar concept of don't talk. Then we see each other, or one reaches out, and it's like we talk for a while.
Yeah.
Right. I think it's big. And I'll go to Dave, but I always talk about on this podcast how Dave called me on a Thankful Thursday like 3 or 4 years ago. And I remember that call changed my life, so it's like, if you're listening today, like, pick up the phone. Like, I think that's so big, because I got a wedding coming up in October, and it's like, I sit here and I'm like, half my groomsmen party is in different states and we don't talk, but like when we do, it's a conversation like this. So pick up the phone. Go ahead, Dave.
Yeah. Reach out to your friends, family that you haven't talked to for a while. It means something. Definitely. My next question is, you're a little bit younger, went into college a little bit younger. What's some advice for an incoming freshman into their college career, athletic career? What would you say to your younger self?
What would I say to my younger self? Probably to learn the ropes. Get comfortable with being uncomfortable. You're going into a different area typically. I mean, most colleges, you don't stay close to home unless you're going to your junior college. I was still an hour, and I think most of us were an hour and 15, hour 20 from home.
Right.
But I had to get comfortable with being uncomfortable, being in a place where I hadn't lived there. I'd only been to Rockford probably 2 or 3 times in my entire life before I actually went up there to live up. So getting comfortable with being uncomfortable in situations and finding people that are doing the same thing as you, coming into a new environment, new location, new people, new coaches. Find a small group. Go and ask questions. I mean, ask the people that are older than you. Hey, what do you think about this? Hey, I'm working on this. Hey, I'm looking at that. Like, and everybody's different. So what they tell you might not work for you. What they do might be completely different than what you have to do. But to my younger self, I would say embrace the grind, embrace the competition, embrace being around others that aren't from the same location as you. You grew up playing with the same 12, 15 players that you grew up playing with your whole life. And then you branch out and you meet people that you wouldn't ever think you would cross paths with. I mean, people from Wisconsin, Reese Gaber for one, sticks out to me. He's over, now he's at Western Michigan, I heard.
Yes, he is. He is. Yeah.
Up in the MAC for a little bit. So good for him there. But was that Zach?
Oh, so I'm literally waving Zach. He just texted me. He said, "Look behind you." I'm like, "Come on into the frame, Daddy." Go ahead. Go ahead.
But yeah,
let's see if I can find him. Yeah, he's coming in. He's coming in. Hold on. He's right behind me. What's up, baby? I don't think he can hear you, but go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, Brock.
But I mean, he's one of them right there. He was a second-year guy when I was going in junior college that he was all for helping, all for the questions. I mean, he was one of the guys that you could reach out to no matter what. And I think Dave kind of felt the same. He was an infielder, but he was one that you could go to and talk to just about anything. So he was a good reach, but find somebody to talk to, find and get comfortable.
Yeah, no
I love
doubt.
that. I love that.
Enjoy the hard times as well, going through it. Like, you look back and just it goes by like that. So enjoy every moment that you're out there. Now we're done, and it's like, wow, that went by really, really fast getting out of it. So enjoy it, reach out, connect with as many guys as you can on the team, because you never know, down the road you catch up and it's just like you're back.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so cliche, but what I'll say is, looking back at it about 6-7 years like later, right? Everyone says, "Oh, you're gonna miss it when it's gone, and you're gonna look back and you're gonna wish you did something different." But like, I think it's more the things you remember are the people, and I think that's so big. It's so, I don't know. What I'm looking for is, it's the impact that you make on other people that you remember, right? I don't remember Zach Baden being my shortstop. I remember Zach Baden being a friend, a leader, and a son in a situation with everything that went on with his mom. I remember David Mitchell. Yeah, David Mitchell was one of our best hitters. But I remember David and Bill always pounding around and like doing things their way and like being good team guys and leading by example. And I remember, Brock, when you would take the mound, it wasn't that you were a good pitcher. You were a good pitcher. Everyone in college is a good pitcher. But when you took the mound, everyone knew that we could trust you and we relied on you. It's like, I look back at those things and it goes way past the X's and O's. That's for sure. That's for darn sure. Well, I'm going to ask one more question. I'll wrap us up today. I think the big thing I got is, how can we help you, man? Like, you're still going towards a future career. You're still doing your thing out there in Fulton. How can we help you, man?
I guess it's just, I mean, this really helps podcast and talking. That's a big one. I do like to listen to you guys' podcasts on walks.
Yeah.
So that's big. I just enjoy that you guys are doing something, and I'm glad you guys have finally done this. I know that this is the 94th episode you had said, which is remarkable. I mean, kudos to you guys for that. And your buddy,
Thank you.
Right, Luke?
Thanks.
right? Luke from Tennessee.
Yep, Luke. Yep, we
Luke's
started
not
it.
behind today,
That's
but
it, man.
that's all right. But I guess just keep doing what you guys are doing. Honestly, it helps because now that I'm not an athlete, you don't just get athletes on here. You guys get a little bit of everybody. I mean, most people have an athletic background, but just because they're an athlete, you guys don't have them on here. I mean, you guys have them on here to get to know them and what that helped them. And honestly, listening to some of that has helped me dealing with just through school right now. I mean, I'm right behind you guys is about 25, 30 books that all represent what I am doing right now and what I want to do. But it just helps to get my mind away and hear somebody else's story, hear somebody else's something that they've gone through and really their keep going moment.
I love that. And I'll go to Dave and we'll wrap up. I have a buddy, David Kamisic, who actually played on the charity team last night. And he has this quote that he talks about all the time. And he goes, life is all about the stories. And I always took that to heart because everything that you do has that story to it, good, bad, or indifferent. Like it's always going to be a part of your personal story. And you don't have to be a big part of everybody's, but you can be an impactful part of everybody that you interact with. So I always took that to heart. Go ahead, Dave.
Yeah, I can't say it better than that. Thank you for coming on here today. Thank you for spending your time. I know you have impacted me. I know you've impacted many people out there. Keep being you, keep shining the light, and always keep going. Thanks, guys.
Amen. Love you, Dave. Love you,
Thank
Brock.
you,
Appreciate it, guys. Have a good rest of your day.
You guys as well. Bear down.
Keep going. Bear down.